I think this event was really useful for a number of things. I think it was very good to see where the USAID partners are all facing similar challenges and successes, and what we can learn from those things, and talking to those partners and hearing their stories and about what's working and what's not working, and I think that's really useful for us, because it helps us guide us in some of our own conversations. In terms of what I think we could do better in events like this, I think we probably could be more focused in terms of some of those issues that come up, whether they be successes or challenges, and what we could do more in terms of a deeper dive into some of those issues. And maybe that's a topic of future events where there are spin-off events that are more focused on a particular issue, and that would be really useful.
I went to the East Africa, the regional team. That was really good, and the reason I found it very useful was the way it was structured in looking at the RDCS, and seeing how different partners contribute. So it was good to, I think the structure in terms of we didn't just introduce ourselves, we were able to see who is contributing to what, and it actually gave me an opportunity to be thoughtful about how I'm contributing to the USAID priorities in as far as the strategy is concerned, and then just also listening and seeing what other people are doing and the whole portfolio. That was very informative. There were programs I had no idea about, and so it was both for learning but also for seeing opportunities of people we need to interface with, and that was very helpful.
I think the highlight is just of this day was bringing all the implementing partners together. I met partners that I didn't even know existed, and got to engage more deeply with partners working within the regional context and within the sector. I thought the morning sessions were very informative, but could have been done in a more concise way if you gave the information to the partners beforehand on the legal, on the branding, etc. And then more time could have been devoted. The panels were a good overarching start into the conversation, but where the real meat came out was in the overlap in the technical content, especially within the sectors. And I'll give examples. I attended the Resilience, where there was a big interest in climate information tools and insurance for crop and livestock. And if we had more time to go into the technical meat and really share our practices, I think it could have been more beneficial for the implementing partners. And same in the regional, it was great to hear what everyone was doing, but if we had another 30 minutes to break into a smaller group and talk specifically on climate change or trade or biodiversity conservation, I think the level of connection and our ability to collaborate with implementing partners moving forward could have been strengthened a bit more.
And I think one outstanding thing about today is the parallel sessions. And I think I enjoyed the gender one, as that now every donor is looking into mainstreaming gender. And I think there are a couple of lessons that we got from different implementing partners that were very helpful into how do we mainstream gender into our program. To me, that was the epiphanic moment where you got to get to eliminate it into things that you have always seemed very complex, integrating into the system. But there you have a one-on-one interaction, and as opposed to that larger group, this one is you're a small group and you have like an exchange, one-on-one exchange, and you line ideas.
Good meeting, very informative. Really good to hear updates on policy changes in the USAID system. I was most intrigued to hear about the change in the aid effectiveness rules. I used to work in DFID before, and we always struggled with aid effectiveness, and great to see USAID going along those lines. Some really good breakout sessions, both the country session for Kenya, which I attended, which was really excellent, very informative, and then a thematic session. I joined the Resilience session. Some very good discussions, great opportunity to renew acquaintances and meet new partners. I may have gone away with a couple of new business cards. That's going to help me. So very good. In terms of what to improve next time, I don't know. It's a great meeting. I wasn't particularly engaged on the agenda. I found it very useful. But maybe more engagement with different partners on the agenda to get more constructive dialogue, more experience out of people. But I think there's plenty of opportunity for that in the open mic sessions. So great meeting.
So the meeting today to me was, it was very useful. It was the first. I did not know what to expect out of it. But truly speaking, the interaction, the agendas that were set, and the discussion on the RDOA, which USAID has prepared, that now we can discuss and see how we move forward. That was very helpful. But I hope then the next step will be now to go to specific programs, just like the one I have just explained, go to the details in the future so that we can really come up with clear plans of what we're going to do. I would like to say, much as I've explained about the Open Science Cloud for Health, I wouldn't say for sure out of this meeting what will be the next step, but I hope we continue this discussion. So this meeting was very useful, and thank you very much. Being the only person from the East African community, I must also appreciate this on behalf of the East African community.
Today's meeting, I can say, went very well. It was well organized and coordinated. I loved the approach of starting discussing the strategy and then having the breakout sessions in the afternoon where we had smaller teams discussing issues of interest across the thematic areas. I was able to sit in through the youth session and I liked how it went. The only improvement I'd make maybe to that, or I'd suggest, is that we have a more deliberate discussion, not just zooming in on one aspect of youth, because in the room there are people interacting with youth in agriculture, in innovations, maybe in education, and then having a discussion that runs across the different thematic areas but touching on youth, in my opinion, would have brought a more interesting interaction.